Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Tunesday Tuesday, episode number 17, right here on the Boston Chris Show. And I'm excited this week to have my friends Arwen and Alyssa from the Calamity Janes, who you were just listening to, on the show this week. Really excited to have them here to pick their brain, see what they've been up to. It's been a long time since I've chatted with them IRL. And that's going to be a lot of fun to chat with Arwen and Alyssa. If you guys are tuning into this later on the YouTube, remember you can see in your recap, or you can see in your description below, there is a recap down there. You can just click on that link if you want to see this entire show. Otherwise, you might just be seeing the interview portion of this show, which is fine too. But if you want to hear the music as well that we're talking about during the interview, that link will be down there in the description below. Without any further ado, let's get Arwen and Alyssa here on the show, and let's see what they've been up to, y'all. Hey, ladies, how are y'all?
Hi,
Wonderful.
how are you?
Not too bad. Looks like you guys are all drinked up and ready to go,
As we do.
as you do. I was just telling folks, it has been almost 8 years since we've known each other. Can you believe that?
Wow. Has it been that long?
It has,
Really?
yeah,
That's
it really has. Almost 8, yeah.
Wow.
that's not true.
We're all getting older, Alyssa. It's not good.
It is good. It is good. Older and wiser.
Well,
Certainly
I'm
wiser.
hoping that y'all's wiser is getting better. Mine damn sure isn't. I feel like I'm losing wiser as I get older.
I'm at least losing memory. I don't know about wiser, but I'm losing my memory as I'm
Yeah,
getting older.
cognitively, I'm not doing so well.
I'm in cognitive decline. It's fine.
It's fine. That's why we're drinked up. Hello.
It's what we do. It makes me perform at
Optimal levels.
Yeah, so what have you guys been up to?
Lots of playing
Lots of
recently, the last about 7 or 8 months, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
I joined another band, so I play
What?
bass. Yeah, I play bass more specifically in that band than I sing. So
Yeah.
I get my singing and the bass playing here, and then I play bass with a group of guys called Trigger Jones, and they're more like Texas rock, like
Okay,
kind
nice.
of Z. I don't want to say ZZ Top esque, but like if you think Texas rock, ZZ Top, that kind of thing. So
I would say y'all border more like Southern rock, red dirt, sort of. They kind of go in
yeah,
that vein.
I'll
I did
definitely
that.
be checking that out. That's awesome. So you
Yeah,
guys
we
been
just
releasing
released I think our
music
second
again?
single. Yeah.
Yeah, finally, huh?
Yeah, not finally. I didn't say that. That's you that said that.
No, I definitely said that, but I didn't mean
I,
it.
I just played Tangled Hearts for everybody, which I absolutely love that
Oh,
song. And
that is my favorite song that we've ever recorded, ever played, ever written. That's my favorite. Yes.
what makes
Thank
it your
you.
favorite?
Uh, the bass
I was gonna say the
line,
rock and bass line.
the bass line, because that's actually one of the first recordings I ever did playing bass.
Like that, that
Like
we
that I,
recorded her on,
yeah,
and
that I got to actually play bass on that. So that's me playing bass. That and the whole story behind that song
It's
was
such an
some,
old West kind of story, isn't it?
it's
yeah,
so it's a real true kind of story. There's some embellishment there, but the
Yeah.
whole first part of that really happened. I actually my first ex-husband, because now I'm on ex-husband number two. My first ex-husband uh, was a serial cheater, and the
Okay.
first girl I found out about, I confronted her at her apartment, and I knew that's where they were. I'd been there before, kind
Mhm.
of figured out the whole thing, and um, confronted her about it on the street out in front of her apartment, and made an idiot of myself. So that was good fun. And then went home and promptly drank
a
at
lot,
least 2 bottles of wine,
A
maybe
lot.
three.
She said a lot.
Um,
a lot
it was a lot. I burned my wedding pictures on the floor of my
in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
I broke all the picture frames that they were in. I had a moment. I was a woman scorned, and I did all the things that women scorned do.
Very cliche, but
I took apart one of his guns and threw pieces of his gun throughout my house.
Oh my God.
Bullets were everywhere.
I did. I
It's a
unloaded
treasure hunt, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
She's mad.
So the moral of this story, ladies and gentlemen, is never ever cheat on a songwriter.
because she's A, I'm going to write about it, and B, I'm probably going to do something crazy.
Yeah, and then she's going to
just
sing
saying.
about it for the rest of her life.
Forever. Yeah, forever.
That's
The
right.
song Gypsy's that way. The song Gypsy is about him too. And the first time we played that the first time that got played on the radio, he called me and he was like, "That is so mean. You called me the devil." And I was like, "Well, don't cheat on me, and then I won't write songs about you. How about that?" And
It's
he was
really
just like,
cause and effect. Pretty simple. Yeah, pretty simple.
I mean, you would think that he would be smarter than that.
Yeah.
You're dating a songwriter. You think I'm not going to put you in a song?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, what I meant by the whole Old West vibe of that song is like I could literally hear that song playing in an old saloon somewhere, like late 19th century, just somebody jamming on the piano with it, you know what I mean?
I've been watching Deadwood the last like 3 or 4 days. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that might be my case too because I've been watching a lot of like the Yellowstone origin stories. You know what I mean?
1893 and all that.
1923 is the one that I'm really hooked up on right now. Golly, is it good?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Faith Hill in it?
Yes.
Faith Hill in
So
it?
Faith Hill is 1883. That's the very first origin. So it's Tim McGraw and Faith Hill in that one, and then the 1923 is Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford.
Hang on, I need to write that down as something to watch. 1923.
Yeah, the second season just started for that. Like literally, the first episode came out the other day. It's really good.
Now I know what I'll do.
Yes.
I've been on a Bridgerton kick. I've been watching Bridgerton. I don't know why.
My wife loves that show.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I missed it first of all, like whenever it was super popular, and now I'm on the. I was running behind the train. Now I'm catching up.
Okay.
So
I'm not there yet.
So there's a new show out on Hulu. It's called Paradise. That is really, really good. That I'm really enjoying a lot. Unfortunately, they're only putting it out one episode at a time, so it kind of sucks. You have to wait a whole week, like when we were younger.
God.
Yeah, they spoiled us for like 10 years, and now they're back to episodic shit. Like it's not cool, man. We want our stuff now so we can binge.
That's why we
exactly.
stream.
Mm-hmm.
I've been, man, if they don't find something on Oak Island real soon, I'm going to give up.
I already gave up on Oak Island.
I'm just saying.
Eventually you got to. It's like that show Arcane took forever to have a second season come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has been 12 seasons, and they hadn't found nothing but some buttons and a couple of pennies and things. And I'm like,
oh my gosh, we're so off track.
The second episode that they don't find anything, I'm out. I'm sorry. Y'all are bad hunters.
Just so you guys know, this is what happens when me and the Janes get together. It happens all the time. We're all over the place.
It does.
Yes. So true.
Literally every single radio interview that we do kind of goes like this.
Yeah, this is how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go like this.
Well, in radio, you can edit
let's try to segue out of this shit. So speaking of radio, you guys have signed on with Jim Nash and Heart of Texas Music Group. I love Jim so much. That's going to be exciting working with him, right?
Yes. So
we've known him like
the entire time we've been doing
this. Yeah. He was there when she was learning how to play guitar, like at the very beginning, like what, 13 years ago. 13
so true story. I dated his son.
No shit. That's funny.
I did.
Okay.
I did. And
that's how
I learned how to play guitar.
Wow.
Because we were hanging out in somebody's garage named Andy, our friend Andy. Hi, Andy, if you're listening. He shares all of our stuff. He's wonderful. I love him. We were hanging out in his garage, and another friend of ours was like, "Man, you really got to learn to play guitar. You can't just stand on stage." He was like, "No, you can't do that in Texas." And so they started teaching me how to play guitar, and about as crappy of a guitar player now as I was then. So
No, you're a little bit better, but crappy now.
I'm slightly less crappy.
Yeah.
Level 2 crappy. You've gone from level 1. You've gotten just enough XP to get to level 2.
I can fumble through the whole show. It's great.
Hey,
Unfortunately, you have to be at least a level 5 to play in Texas, so you still got a ways to go.
right?
You know, the funny thing is that I'm playing guitar on the Tangled Hearts and on Rolling On.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
the
hell, I
acoustic
remember
was-
7 years ago when we met, or 8 years ago when we met in the green room in Lindale, and you were playing fine then. So, I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
she does play fine. We just like that's like one of the
That's like
things
our
that we
running
like to
jokes.
poke at with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
You know, sisters.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
like-
Yeah.
I gotta be like I'm better than you, and I know it. You know.
And speaking
Well,
of
it's
speaking
like-
of the Calamity Janes too, I know the answer to this, but because we are live, I know somebody's going to be wondering the origins of the name Calamity Janes. So how did you guys come up with that?
I didn't.
So we're named after the cowgirl, the Calamity Jane, who
Yeah.
lived in a time when women, were not doing what she was doing. She was making her own rules, and she was out there doing things that men were doing, and being just kind of living by her own set of ethics and rules. Yeah, I didn't want to say rules twice. I was trying to find another word, but similes are hard today. But that's kind of who we are as people too. Like, we have never really fit into the super girly mode. We've always been who we
rough around
are.
the edges,
Mhm.
kind of non-apologetic. Like
Yeah,
I am who I am, and I don't give a damn.
Mhm.
Like
that's true. And so she just felt like she belonged to us, and so she stuck. Were searching for other names, and nothing else felt right. And I can remember we were texting back and forth, and I was like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And finally I was like, what about Calamity Janes? And it was like,
that's
yep,
it. Yeah.
there it is.
So
And it just-
the style and vibe that you guys put out, did that have anything to do with the name as well? Because you guys are very Western and very Texas swing kind of in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole idea of being a little bit rough around the edges, pushing things a little bit, making your own style and being your own brand is kind of it's encompassed in the name and in the music. I think it goes
Yeah.
hand in hand.
It's very serendipitous to who you guys are, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Thank you. That's really nice. Thank you.
And I really feel like, she defines us as people. Neither one of us are polished, and we kind of make our own rules, much to the chagrin of people that know us.
And that's much like a lot of people in Texas too, right? Like, I feel like that polish, it doesn't work well down here. It has to be kind of gritty to work in Texas.
A little gritty, a little dirty. It's got to get you have to have some dust on it.
That's
like,
right. Yeah, I agree.
And the thing too about Calamity Jane is that she wasn't a bad person. She loved people.
Yeah,
she helped people. She had a good heart. And that's, even though we are a little bit rough around the edges, Alyssa will give you the shirt off of her back if you ask her to, and she'll change your tire on the side of the road in the middle of the mountains in Colorado and not think twice about it. And she's done that before.
Absolutely. Yep.
And
very cool stuff. And so one of the things I love about this show that we started doing maybe about 2 months ago or so, this is number 17 of this live show that I just started doing. I guess it was probably December or so that we started it. But first of all, thank you guys for being here, man. It's always good to chat with y'all. But we have a special guest pick of the week, and this week's Calamity Janes pick is a song called Honky Tonk Disco State of Mind, and this is by Kendi Jean. And so I understand that you guys kind of put a bunch of different songs onto a wheel and just spun it, because obviously there's a lot of music out there.
And we have so many good friends that are songwriters and wonderful songwriters that, Jess Clem was one of them. She's new to Texas. If you have not heard of her, she's wonderful. Jimmy Zapata is another one. We're cutting a record of his called "If the World Was Flat." We're in the middle of producing that with our friend of ours named Preston Scott,
Hmm.
who's also a phenomenal musician.
Absolutely.
Um,
It's funny
Yeah,
because when I first started doing this Tuesday thing every Tuesday, we play 15 songs on this show every single Tuesday. And my wife was like, "Well, what if you run out of songs?" I was like, have you seen my friends list?"
yeah.
Like,
it's like,
Like,
do
just
you
send me
know
something.
Texas?
there's
Like,
no
send
way
me
I'm
something.
running out of songs. We're like I said, 17 episodes in, and I haven't repeated an artist yet. So,
And
That's awesome.
And that's like saying, what if you run out of air in
right,
Texas?
exactly.
There's no end to the amazing music that's here.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just Texas, like we're playing a lot of Texas music on this show, but like we're playing from all over the world. Like tonight, we have 15 songs from all over the planet. It's not just Texas. Now it's
That's
heavily
so
Texas
cool.
based. There are a lot of Texas
Yeah.
artists that I'm playing tonight, like Kendi and Y'all and Rock Bottom String Band is on tonight. John Christopher Davis, I'm playing them tonight. Aaron Watson, Gabe Wooten. Like this is mostly Texas, but we're not just Texas. So anyway, tell us more about Kendi Jean and why y'all picked this song.
Well, I mean, aside from the wheel picking for us, because we are incapable of making decisions.
Yep.
Yep.
Um,
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 so we started playing some with her we did a Christmas show.
we did
And
a
that
we
was-
did a Hey Girls.
Yeah, we did her show, Hey Girls, and then we did a Christmas show. And then we just did this thing called Fort Worth Side Saddle. And I've heard this song from her, but I've always heard it acoustic because she's always played acoustic. And then her full band version of it, we just
So
sang together.
groovy.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing because it's disco, but it's Texas, it's country, and it's disco, and it's such a great song, and to see her perform it live
It's
is amazing as well.
actually, I
Like,
think her live performance might be better
Yeah.
than
Isn't that
Like
amazing when
her-
that happens? Like when you see a
I was
live.
like, that is my favorite thing. That's
Yeah,
my favorite
me
thing.
too.
in the world.
Me too. Like we just saw
Yep.
Radney Foster live recently, a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
And oh my
Nice.
God, if anybody could be better than his recordings, it was Radney. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this can't be happening. Like,
Yeah.
not only does he sound better than his recordings, but golly, he's older than us. Like, how?
And his guitar playing, he's a
Right.
phenomenal guitarist.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of Texas,
but-
like, holy crap.
Yeah.
there's so many people in Texas like that. Texas is just, and you're right. It's not limited to Texas, but dadgum, like,
Hey, we could be
what
proud
is in
of
the
it.
water
But
here?
yeah, we could be
What's
proud
the
of it,
water
of
here?
course. Yeah. I love
What's in
that.
the water?
So yeah, that'll be the pick of the week from the Calamity Janes from Kendi Jean, who's a mutual friend of ours. We'll be playing that after we play the new single from Calamity Janes. Again, that song is called Honky Tonk Disco State of Mind. But before we get into the music, I want to talk to Arwen and Alyssa about the new single. This is called Rolling On. Tell us about this song. Take us into the room as this is being created.
So, kind of back in 2020, right before the pandemic shut everything down, we were playing out at Greenwood Saloon and had a killer show. And we went and sat on the back porch. There's like a big back patio thing, and there's a house that's back there. They have a back porch, and there were some seats back there, a couch, and some other things. And we went back there, and I'd kind of been stewing on this idea about writing a song about being a musician and kind of all of the things that we do as a musician, and we name them in there, talking
Black
about
tires.
and talking about changing in a truck stop, playing for empty bars, those sort of things, and sleeping in the backseat of my car,
Yeah.
which I've done way more than once. But we were just kind of sitting around, and I was like, guys, I have this song, and I really have this kind of idea, and I brought this skeleton framework, and we sat around for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and put it together
It came
on the
together
back
so
porch.
easy too.
Yes.
It was very easy
And
to come together.
By the end of that little hour and a half time that they let us hang out, we had this song, and we kind of polished it up, moved a couple of things around, and then the pandemic, about 2 weeks later, the pandemic shut everything down. And we didn't play another show for like 8 months.
Yeah.
It took us 8 or 9 months to play another show. And I was like, and of course, you know, we played online and we did all kinds of stuff, but it was one of those things that we wanted to talk about our life being a musician, because all of the things that we do, people don't truly understand, and other musicians totally get.
Yeah, got a room for free, only 2 beds. Like
We've done that way more.
And there's like 5 of us, 6 of us. Yeah, who's got to sleep on the floor? Like
bringing an air mattress, like
yeah.
The kind of hidden in that very end section, we talk about it. There's a little kind of round part that says like flat tires and flash floods and free beer, but you got to pay for liquor. No guarantee, but got a room for free.
But only 2 beds.
And this has no rest for the wicked. And
I love
then
that.
It's a hard life.
Yeah.
It's a hard life, but you just keep rolling on. Is the last kind of thing. And when we perform it live, we pull that part out, and so that way you can hear it. Oh, good Lord. Natty Light. Ugh.
Thank you, Natty Light.
We're not paid any sponsorships for this show.
No.
But if you know someone, reach out.
That's right. Come on, Natty, get in on this.
Mama needs a tour bus.
So this song has been out for 3 weeks now, released to radio. It's already in the top 100. We're all the way up to number 88 with this song, which is phenomenal after 3 weeks.
Jim.
Yes, Jim is fantastic. It's so good to see him doing both sides of radio again, which I love, by the way. Jim, I'm glad you did that, by the way.
Us too.
Yeah, but he's building one hell of a roster with you guys and Holly Tucker and Soul Ross and Larissa Boyd, like this a bunch of y'all. I know I'm missing people too, and I apologize for that, but
I can't remember who else is on.
He's got a half dozen or so, maybe more than that by this point. But yeah, what would you guys say is the best way for people to support this song for y'all?
Well, I mean, obviously, calling local radio stations and asking them to spin it is one way, and there's also online radio stations as well. Sharing it, Spotify, sharing it on social medias. It's on YouTube.
Use it to make your reels.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
Crappy day. You need to ready to keep rolling on, y'all. Like it's a good one.
Yeah.
Get in on that TikTok life with this song too. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I really need to get on the TikTok train. I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at it.
It's hard. It's really difficult. But yeah,
we need a social media manager.
Yeah,
we all do. Once you figure out somebody who knows how to do all that shit.
Because she does it all because I refuse to.
It's
I
hard.
don't like my own
it's
Facebook.
So hard.
She won't. I'm like, Alyssa, have you seen what's on social media? She's like, no. And I'm like,
I haven't looked at Facebook all day. That's
go look at it.
She's in like 7 bands at this point, Arwen, okay? She don't have time for that stuff.
Listen,
I'm always practicing.
I don't stop.
Well, I appreciate you girls coming on with me. It's so good to see y'all. I know y'all have been playing more in the Tyler area, too, at the Speakeasy, South Tyler Speakeasy.
Yeah.
I've missed that show like 2 or 3 times, and eventually I'm going to get out there to hug y'all's neck again.
We will be back there. Let me look up in March. So we're there
March
once
22nd.
a month.
Okay.
We're there once a month for the first 6 months. It's kind of like a monthly residency.
Hey.
March 22nd.
March 22nd.
Yeah, I should be able to make one of them, hopefully. It's just, so far, like, something weird will come up on the day that you guys are playing, and I hate when that happens, because I know y'all are not from Tyler, so it's like anytime one of my friends comes from DFW over here to play, I want to be there, and support y'all, so.
My husband, fiance guy, he has,
Fiance guy.
My husband, fiance man, Kyle, he has land out there in Lindale.
Okay.
So usually when we go out there, we end up staying the night out there, and like we try to go to La Paridi on Sunday morning before the church crowd gets there, and like go eat a bunch and hang out with the kids. And
so we're not far from Lindale. We're about 20 minutes from Lindale, a little bit north of there. Yeah, so not too far. But yeah,
it's pretty out there.
The website is calamityjanes.com.
TXCalamityJanes.com.
TXCalamityJanes.com.
Yeah, we all of our socials are also TX Calamity Janes.
Okay.
We just kind of streamlined it to make it easy. That way we could just put one thing on everything and you could find us no matter what.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, I appreciate y'all being here, and we're going to get right into the music.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it so much.
Of course. You guys have a good rest of your night, and hi, bye, Kyle, fiance guy.
That's okay. He's sitting right off the camera.
He's like, bye.
Well, y'all have a great night. We're going to get into the music, and I'll see y'all
It's great
soon.
to see you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, we are going to get into the music, beginning with Calamity, the Calamity Janes. I want to reiterate, go to txcalamityjanes.com to check out all of their stuff. It's at txcalamityjanes all over the place if you guys want to follow them and check out where their music is, find out where they're playing, all of that good stuff. And again, if you guys are watching just the interview on YouTube, this was originally live. If you want to see the entire recap, which is going to include the entire radio show, there'll be a link in the description.